Welcome to Share Talk, the only podcast where investors come first.
Today we are joined by Lionsgold Chief Executive Officer Cameron Parry, ticker LION, on the AIM listed market in London. You okay, Cameron?
Yes, good, thank you, Alex. Good to speak with you again.
Yeah, it's nice to catch up with you. In your interview with Andrew Scott last Thursday, you had the comment you used, a watershed moment. Does it feel like Lionsgold is well positioned going into 2018, and why?
Yes, I was talking specifically about the RNS that we released, which was the deal we've entered into or secured with Railsbank, which is our platform technology provider that connects Goldbloc as a digital gold currency that allows us to connect and access the global banking network. And to secure our access to that platform is hugely important. But also to secure an exclusive is strategically, obviously, very important because it allows us to, keep out any would-be competitors on that front, and where we can really champion the cause of digitizing gold, physical gold, and then connecting that up into bank accounts, which is, it's a phenomenal thing to be able to do, and we're still a few months away from releasing that, being January at the moment, and we're looking to go live with that during Q2 this year. But yeah, so that's what I meant when I said it's a watershed moment. It truly is. That is strategically, fundamentally, monumentally so important to us that deal that Railsbank, if you like, are locked in now. And there is a 30-day due diligence period for us to just finish off some of the work we're doing there, and then we'll be looking to proceed with that arrangement. So between that on our financial technology platform, on that side of the business, for what is going on in the background in India and the development of the Jonagiri mine, as well as some license progression that we're doing in some other areas in India, and even what we're doing in Finland as well, waiting for the winter to sort of be over there to get stuck back into the work on the ground there. We are well positioned, certainly going into 2018. And one of the things you would note, and I'm sure all your listeners would know, we did have enjoy an uplift of share value in December, quite rapid as it was. That was off the back of a placing. We've had a lot of voluntary warrants exercise. So we're in a very strong cash position. We're financially very robust. We can roll out all our plans. We're able to accelerate some of our strategic, deal making, such as the Railsbank deal, as outlined in Thursday's announcement. For those reasons, we are very well positioned, and I think 2018 will be a transformative year for Lionsgold. At the moment we're still very much a micro-cap, very much a speculative play, and I accept that, but that's not where I see us ending up by the end of this year.
Exclusive for a 3-year deal, so you've cut out your competitors in the digital currency deal if your due diligence goes through in the 30-day period.
Yeah, so it's in our gift. We just wanted to be, we just want a little bit extra time for due diligence, but we very much wanted to lock up this arrangement. So it's, it's up to Lionsgold to proceed, and we've agreed the terms on which we would proceed. We'd put in £1.25 million. That would come from existing funds. That would give us a 12.5% equity stake in Railsbank on a fully diluted basis following this round. Myself and the CEO of Track have agreed to also co-invest on the same terms as Lionsgold, where I'm investing effectively 10%, £125,000 of my own family's money in Railsbank on the same terms that Lionsgold's bringing £1.25 million. And Track Technology, the CEO there, Rafe Hazel, he also is looking to co-invest £50,000 of his own family's money into Railsbank for a 0.5% equity stake. And even our global strategy consultant, Alan Davies, former Rio Tinto stalwart, he's also coming in for £125,000 into Railsbank. to do that, it helps. I mean, that was sort of twofold. It did help our negotiating position by providing more cash than simply the 1.25 million that Lionsgold was doing. But it also, and I did say this in that other interview, we come from a mining and exploration base, and because we've been, and I've been, I think, CEO of the company for about 18 months now, and fairly early on we did indicate that we were, we did lay out that the plan was to progress, all of our opportunities in India, strengthen those partnerships that we already have, and explore other things we can do together, as well as supporting the main priorities as they stand. Achieve some jurisdictional diversification, which we've done by entering into a joint venture in Finland. And the third thing, which is clearly the one that's capturing sort of the imagination at the moment of the market, is to move into into financial technology arena, developing a digital gold holding platform, which has obviously evolved into a digital gold currency that we'll be able to put into open up bank accounts for people, and the main currency will be delineated in gold, and that will be Goldbloc, will be that currency, which will represent 1/1000th of a gram of physical gold that is vaulted on your behalf and that you directly own. And so really it's turning gold into a proper currency, giving gold the flexibility of mainstream currency, and that hasn't quite been achieved yet. There are some parties that do prepaid cards, they vault gold, but they're usually they're held in an omnibus account with an internal ledger. This is a breakthrough. This is a marked step forward. It's very exciting. It's something we're proud of. I think just that reason about co-investing. Clearly, we're not just making punts, if you like, with our shareholders' money. We're putting our own money side by side because of our belief in the viability and the potential value of the platform that Goldbloc's using, and also the company that's delivering that, and that's in Railsbank. And so I suppose, apart from all those strategic reasons to do the Railsbank deal, there is that side benefit, of course, that there is substantial potential uplift in that investment over the coming short to medium term, over the next 1 to 3 years.
I was watching your share price on Friday. It's fluctuated a lot. It
went down a bit on Friday, so stop watching it.
Yeah. It's like... Okay, so how much in total then, the CEO and the boards? So what does that figure come to, the family money? Is that, what, 350K?
£300,000 in addition to Lionsgold's 1.25.
Got to ask this question while I've got you on the line. This will sound a bit abrupt. When is it coming out? Goldbloc release, debit card, on Visa or MasterCard? There's a question for you.
So when it's coming out, as we've updated the market on, it will be during Q2. We're not giving an exact point in Q2, just to give ourselves some leeway then, and try and sort of deliver, in that time window. What was the other question? Whether it'll be a MasterCard or a Visa?
Yeah, and the debit card, will it be Visa or MasterCard? Because I look across social media and this question's been used all the time.
Is it? Yeah, well, it'll be one of those. But I can tell you we're leaning towards MasterCard if that appeases anybody who's worried or interested.
Yeah, I think social media for some reason like MasterCard. Don't ask me why. It's bizarre. So
we use MasterCard on our website as the logo because that is the one that we think we'll be using. So I hope that answers your question for now.
No, that's good. Yeah, for you shareholders to listen to that. I've got a couple of questions from shareholders. Is you okay if I run quickly through them?
Actually, just on that other last point, though, I should say this is where we tap into Railsbank's infrastructure,
right.
Connect with their global network of partner banks.
That'd be good, yeah.
But that is what this does. That's the platform that we're integrating with. So, so those things, they're probably not such a big deal. I mean, if you have a prepaid card or a debit card or a credit card, most of them in the world will run on either MasterCard or Visa. So, but yeah, as I say, we're likely to be using MasterCard.
No, that's great. So just to tie up, that's answered the question on the Visa and the MasterCard. Would Railsbank consider IPO at some point in the future?
I'm sure Railsbank will be an extremely valuable proposition over the next month and couple of years. It will be up to their board to decide, what access to markets they may want, or how they may want to inject capital if indeed they do it all. So it'll just be something for their board and to work out as their corporate strategy, and they'll, it is a possibility for sure. That is definitely one avenue they could go down.
It's an interesting prospect because, I was just looking into it. I've got some shareholder questions. Are you okay? I'll shoot these across to you.
Sure.
How will they market Goldbloc, and what is the budget brackets, if they can say, what is the strategy of spreading awareness of it?
We'll have a multi-layered marketing strategy that we'll be rolling out for the product release, but I'd rather not go into it at the moment. Same with the budget. We'd like to just keep our cards a bit close to our chest on that at the moment.
Second question. Can Cameron explain the valuation revenue model of Railsbank?
Yes, but I think that's their information. That's their business. So somebody would have to ask one of their directors if they want to disclose that kind of information.
How many shares in issue do you have, and what is the free float at the moment? Can you comment?
In Lionsgold, we have 420 million shares on issue. 96% of that is in free float.
Okay, so you obviously don't know the figure in free float exactly, yeah.
Well, 96% of it. So what did I say? So there's about 16 million aren't. So 404 million are. Okay,
thank you. Can Cameron share his vision for where he wants the company to be in 2 to 3 years?
Yes, I'd like us to have a well-established digital gold currency operating in many countries that people can choose to use in their daily lives, and having that security and stability of, and indeed, if we are entering or have entered possibly the next bull market for gold, something that is fundamentally increasing their purchasing power, not just defending their purchasing power against depreciation, as can happen, as historically does happen with fiat currency. So I'd like people to be able to use that, in various jurisdictions of the world. We'd like to have a very heavy presence with that product in India and tie up some of the things we're doing on the ground there. I would like us to, where the company will be in 3 years, have at least one operating mine that we're involved in India, which I think would be Jonagiri, just within that time frame. Probably have a subsidiary or an interest in a subsidiary that's listed on the Bombay Stock Exchange. We would have, there are some other commercial opportunities to be done there in India. But the way I see it, the way we see it as a board, global banking and financial technology are one of the big transforming areas, sectors to be in over the next 5 to 10 years. And India is one of the biggest global opportunity markets that will probably be underwriting the global economic growth over the next 20 years. So we want exposure and heavy exposure to both of those markets, those sectors, and that's what we're targeting with Lionsgold.
The final question: which asset does Cameron see bringing in meaningful cash flow to the business so it is self-sustaining?
Goldbloc.
Goldbloc. That was a quick answer. You didn't have to think about that.
Yeah, well, we're in natural resources on the other side of the business and the business model, and that does take a while to generate revenues.
The next time you're in the UK, you'll be attending the Investor Show, the 10th of February in Manchester.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
All the tickets have been allocated. It's been oversubscribed, so it should be a good evening.
Yeah, hopefully it will be, and as I say, I'm looking forward to it. It'd be great to obviously hear some of these questions firsthand, and just be able to mingle and chat to some of the people that have supported Lionsgold, supporting this. This is still a fairly new business model. I mean, we've only been running the company for 16 months now, or 18 months, I think. And it is really, people can sort of see that it's evolving a pace now. And it does take a while to get your fundamentals all in place. I mean, building sustainable value in a public company, or any business for that matter, but it does take time. It takes a lot of hard work and time, and it's not something that just happens overnight. Albeit once the market starts becoming alive to it, that can appear like it's kind of all just happening overnight. But no, so it'll be great to meet some of the shareholders, maybe who are already involved and shown a bit of faith in what we're doing and in ourselves as a board, and possibly speak to some others who are, thinking about where to put a little bit of their portfolio.
No, that's great. Cameron, thanks for taking the time out to talk to us.
Thanks, Alex. Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Remember to visit our website for more news and other podcasts at www.share-talk.com.